Cricket doesn't stop, as I rightly mentioned it a few days ago. And once again, we are back with a new tournament. Yes, it's the Asia Cup 2025, and we are super excited to be part of that. And we will discuss about. I have Rohan, I have Orko, I have Jian with me. All three of them are pretty much excited, just like me. Orko, starting with you, another new challenge. This time, as always, whenever we have an ICC tournament coming up, the format changes. We go back to a T20 format, though we are the defending champions. The way India performed, we cannot forget the way 50 all out happened in Sri Lanka. Mohammad Siraj announced himself out there. But now your thoughts, T20 format, new looking side. First things first for India overall. Do you think there should be any disturbance on the squad from the players that are away from the T20 format?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, we do have a lot of depth, because thanks to the IPL, we have been gifted by a number of talents. Literally, we can make three squads out of the entire IPL talents put together. So I think because we are blessed with that, that's something we need to use. And, if required, or I would say should be resting the senior pros like Bumrah and all as well. So I think we do have enough resources to get through this tournament, even with the likes of the IPL talents in particular. So I think it'll be an interesting tournament, though we know that there are maybe just two, three teams that are highly competitive as and India is. So definitely a good watch, especially as a cricket fan, and let's see how it unfolds.
Definitely, let's see how it unfolds. But UAE is the venue which will host the tournament, Rohan. But thoughts out here when we talk about UAE hosting a tournament, we think about three stadiums, but this time it's two stadiums only. Dubai and Abu Dhabi are the two stadiums that are hosting. No Sharjah. Your thoughts? 9th September to 28th September, which means near about 20 days time. So there will we expect some wear and tear as the tournament progresses.
Yeah, first of all, Pritham, when we talk about UAE, nostalgia always thinks about Sharjah. But the recent developments has always been Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Good stadiums, but dew factor will be there. Coldish kind of climate, so I think that will be playing a huge factor in deciding the outcome of this tournament, I feel. But good enough form up for the T20 World Cup coming up. Good test for this Indian team as well. Been on a good run in the last year or so
Correct.
with Surya. So I think that will be a good game for all of us, because some good teams, as rightly Orko told, it will be pretty competitive, giving the strength of all the teams as well.
True that, and as we said, India are the host, but the way the other teams are there, Jian, you talk about the small nations as well. It's a wonderful opportunity for them. Oman, UAE, Hong Kong, they're playing some good cricket. We'll discuss about them in depth in very soon. But the likes of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, they're also in Group B, and that looks a very group of death kind of a thing.
See, I'll tell you in that these kind of teams, we have unheard of because in the last year's T20 World Cup also we saw what USA did. Okay,
Correct.
what Nepal did. We like these teams, Uganda for that matter, won a game in the T20 World Cup. So these kind of teams, these minor teams, they get this opportunity to play against these big teams because you don't really see them touring the big nations too often. So this is the right opportunity that they qualify for this or play this tournament, and then may mark themselves, and we come to know a lot of players also from those countries. So it is really
Correct.
really admirable that such teams come up, and I really hope teams like UAE or Oman, like these teams like just show some character and show some fight, because we know we don't count out any team now. Literally, we don't
Correct.
count out any team. Yeah, at all.
Absolutely. And what kind of an experience do you think the likes of Hong Kong will have? Because their group looks more of a very tough one, because you have to face the likes of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. Experience can be there. May not be you will reach the skill level to make it to the top six into the next round. But what kind of experience? What should you do if you're in the Hong Kong side moving into this tournament with, and you have to face three of the big teams?
You don't really have to see who's playing in front of you. You just have to play your own good cricket. Like just stick to your plans, stick to your methods, and stick to your basics. Like go to your drawing board and just practice. Like whatever you all have been taught in the nets, and just have a motivational talk in that dressing room, and that's it. You don't have to see who's coming in front of you. Because be it at after stages, you might get to even face India at the likes of India, Sri Lanka also. So you have to just play your game. Rest obviously, I mean, there are obviously the senior teams have more experience and all. We quite might know what it is, but show some fight. Sometimes if you remember going back in 2015 when a 2015 and 16 Afghanistan, when they had initially started playing cricket, they had shocked. When they had competed against India, and there was a stage that we were actually like kind of scared that when we were 4 down or 5 down, because we didn't know what's coming our way. So
Correct,
these
correct.
big teams get these they don't know, like they are not real versed. So exactly, we really don't know what is coming in front of them. So, and those teams have nothing to lose. They have no reputation, much of reputation. They are not known. They have nothing to lose. They'll just go out and enjoy themselves in these kind of
Absolutely,
tournaments.
they will definitely enjoy themselves, and they will go out and experience, because they will get some experience when they play the likes of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and the others. But Orko, on the other hand, Gurpal Paji said it's going to be a very big test for Team India, because where we stand before the World Cup, which is coming up very soon as well. Similarly, for the women's as well, they're playing a World Cup soon. Their experience key. But talking about the men's in this Asia Cup, your thoughts on how Surya Kumar Yadav can lead the side and what can he bring? Because he's a very calm and composed person. We discussed about it a very few days back as well. How chilled he style plays, how he keeps always smiling. On the other hand, Gautam Gambhir is a very serious coach. That gelling around between captain and coach. How do you look into that?
Well, as we go back in time, it's a bond that started from the IPL days itself. When Surya was literally a newbie into in the IPL circuit. I think Gambhir was the one who promoted him, to become an important figure for KKR as well. But sadly, they couldn't hold on to him. But it's good that he's coming up in this way. He's maybe the best T20 batter in the world right now, and also a very astute captain. He's someone who is very brave and shows enough confidence on his boys, no matter how big or inexperienced they are. So I think he's someone who likes to put the ball in the ring. He's someone who is very experimental about what he tries to do. So that's what brings the best out of him, and maybe the entire team functions well purely because they have a leader who tries to promote all the boys as a whole and perform regardless of what their reputation is. So definitely happy that that captain coach duo is working well, and at least in this format, I think we are in the safest possible hands.
True that, we are definitely in the safest possible hands, and we are playing really good cricket in terms of a wide ball format as well. Not to take away what we did in England, but talking about this, Gurpal Paji says due factor will be key because of the day-night game, evening game, 7:30 Indian Standard Time start. Rohan, your thoughts? Just like you said about the slowness of the surface, how important will be toss? Because we have seen in the previous World Cups as well, held in UAE, win the toss bowl, you more or less win the match.
Yeah, because there will be some swing early on, and it can help the new ball bowlers. We have seen it previously in the last T20 World Cup. There, toss did play a vital role in deciding the outcome of a lot of matches, and eventually won the winners, I'll say. So I think in the IPL also, the one that was hosted in the UAEs, I think we
Yeah,
saw a lot of those similar kind of pattern. Even in Abu Dhabi as well, I think. But more, I think matches will be more Dubai centric. The key big games, I feel. So I think the Ring of Fire. And also the catching under that light is a bit of a problem area for a lot
correct.
of these players we've seen in the past. So I think getting used to those kind of conditions without not much of a real match simulation that India has or not had, basically, because the last test series was there. T20 has not been much happening in terms of
Play.
international cricket or domestic cricket. So I think getting the flow of things, at least those few league matches that we have against the smaller teams, maybe rustiness will be seen, I feel. But at least get those things early on, so that come the big games you can be a bit more fresher and get your key
Correct.
players rolling, I feel.
Absolutely. And just like Paji mentioned about the experience these players will have going forward. But as you said about fielding under the lights, by the looks of it, less experience side, the looks of Hong Kong, UAE, Oman. Which team do you think among these have a little bit of experience in terms of the fielding side? Which team do you think will be more confident going into field, save a few runs, dive your hearts out? Earlier, we used to see the likes of Zimbabwe, a very good fielding side. Nowadays, your thoughts?
I think all are good. I mean, it's a combination of a lot of these expat old players from the subcontinental players. So I think, as Jan rightly said, it's nothing to lose for them. They love to impress. Not just that, if they can impress a few, they can get some IPL contracts as well. So I think that will be a motivation for these guys. But fielding, I think UAE being a host country, I think they will fancy knowing those conditions. Some big hitters with the top of the order. I've seen them and some good new ball bowlers. But Oman, I think in the last edition they surprised a lot with the kind of bowlers they have. I think they have a guy who was bowling those round arm, Malinga kind of ones. So I think not just fielding, if you can, because generally these smaller teams are good with the ball and field well equally, but it's the batting maybe because the lack of technique on against good quality bowling that kind of exposes these guys. So I think certain ways, if the toss can favor them a little bit, I think that will get them closer to those big teams. But man to man on paper, they're not so threatening. But conditions and sometimes you play above yourself, only then they can challenge others. But a chance to improve and impress upon a lot of these teams that are on the display, I feel.
True that. And you're saying UAE, despite as just because they are the host and they know the conditions pretty well, so UAE and they have the experience with Wasim being the captain, so experienced side as well. But Jian, talks are now slowly and steadily. Teams are starting to announce their playing 11 squad rather for the Asia Cup. We are seeing a few sides do the same. India will announce their squad tomorrow. There is not much of a goosebumps while reports are making it changing here and there. Some are saying this player is there, some are saying not there. We can go with our perspective, we three of us. And Paji has a question saying that who can be that anchor at number 3, because he expects Surya Kumar Yadav at number 4. Maybe he expects Tilak Verma at number 5. Who's your number 3? Is it somebody from the likes of Punjab Kings?
Definitely, I would like to see, one. It is definitely either going to be one of Shreyas Iyer or maybe Shubman Gill. Never know what we can do, because this is right time to experiment for the T20 World Cup. Because knowing the T20, squad depth we have, we can build 3, 4 teams of a strong 11. That kind of a team we have. I think even 5 maybe. Knowing, because in IPL also we have seen so many young talents with the likes of Prabsimran Singh, Jitesh Sharma, and Priyan Charya now upcoming, and these guys are so talented that for an opening slot only we have 10 to 12 options. So
Correct.
it is not like today I can pick a squad of 15. You will not be happy, or Orko will not be happy, and he picks a 15. We might not be happy. So nobody is going to be satisfied at the end of the day. I mean, we will say, oh, he missed out, oh, he missed out, oh, he should have been picked. But
Correct.
ultimately, we have got to understand that we have to try every kind of player in every position. And I think this is the right time to experiment. I mean, playing UAE or Oman, and let's say later stage, maybe Sri Lanka, Bangladesh also at some point of time. And maybe we are going to play each team twice. So I think that is also going to matter. And maybe if things go well, we might play the final and maybe win it also. So I think the right time to experiment. I mean, this is the
You're
right
saying
time
about
to.
experiment. I absolutely understand, but some take this as an opportunity of having soaking the pressure and having a set squad of 15 before you move on to the World Cup. You said about Shubman Gill or Shreya Shaya. Well, when you said about the word Shubman Gill, Rohan from the side has nodding his head, says no way. But thoughts on Orko, your end, your former KKR captain. I think he's certainly a bit ahead because of the way he plays spin in the middle overs and the way he plays his innings. Because maybe Shubman might struggle. If he is there as an opener, he might, but I don't want to include him at the moment in the T20 side just because Gian said we have so many quality openers already.
Exactly. I mean, Shreyas definitely, he's someone who has played at that position all his life, and he has got, the runs and all that caliber which he has shown in the recent IPL. So I think it'll only be fair if he gets his chance. If they really want to look beyond Shreyas Iyer for reasons unknown, then I would say maybe someone like Tilak Verma at 3 also wouldn't be bad,
Has to be.
because he's someone who does have the capacity to play long innings. And even in the South Africa tour, if you remember, he did bat at 3 or 4 and he did pretty well. He's someone who likes to get some time on the crease and then convert them into big daddy scores. So I think Tilak Verma at 3 also wouldn't be a bad option. But when you have someone tailor-made, ready-made like Shreyas Iyer, definitely you need to go for him for his skills, his hitting, his spin game. So definitely when you have people like them, I don't really see a Shubman Gill in the mix just yet, unless you really want to tinker with the opening pair, which again would raise a lot of doubts.
Absolutely, it would definitely raise a lot of doubts. There you also have Yashasvi Jaiswal on the cards. But Gurpal Padi says, how Rinku Singh bowling in the UP T20 leagues, or Ruturaj Gaikwad bowling in the Buchi Babu as well. Now, Jian, he mentioned about Ruturaj Gaikwad once again. Which player from India has been a little bit more unlucky? Is it Abhimanyu Ishwaran or Ruturaj Gaikwad getting an opportunity?
No. Yapima, I have never seen a most unlucky player as Abhimanyu Easwaran. When 15 people coming and debuting in front of you, and you're still sitting and waiting for your chance. I mean, that is insane, man. Absolutely insane. I think, Ruturaj still has played quite a few games for India. I think he had captained India also. I think in one of the Zimbabwe against I'm not
Correct. Correct.
recollecting if he had captained or
Island.
it was the right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he has played. He's got the opportunities. I think Iswaran has. I don't know. Maybe he has done nothing wrong in the domestic games, but I think it's fair to say that he's in the wrong. He's in the wrong team at the wrong time. I think because with so many options in the opening slots, Shubman himself
Correct.
being an opener has demoted himself to number three. But so, maybe if Iswaran is open to play at somewhere else, maybe we can fit him. But again, it is too risky because see, with the likes of, Karun Nair coming in, Sai Sudarshan coming in, and, a lot of players like Sarfaraz not getting a chance, Shreyas Iyer not getting a chance. So it's kind of unfair. But yeah, I think I have never seen a more unlucky player as Abhimanyu Iswaran. I
Okay,
really
so
hope he
according,
plays the home series at least.
yeah, we do understand, but hopefully he gets a debut because there's an India versus South Africa at the Eden Garden, so maybe he gets a debut out there too at his home ground. But thoughts on the way the young talents are performing, Rohan? Just like Orko mentioned, we hope that the opening pair of Sanju Samson, Abhishek Sharma, they do not get chucked out of either of the sides because Yashasvi Jaiswal is there. Jihan said about Shubman Gill, he might be there. Ruturaj Gaikwad, as Paji said, he could be there. So many could be there, but I really hope these two get a more game time. Otherwise, if Sanju gets opt out, then you need to think about Jitesh Sharma or somebody else in the lower middle order for a wicket keeper too. Now, likes of young talents, you have the likes of Abhishek Sharma who is going to play. You have Noor Ahmed who is going to play for Afghanistan. You have Dulit Wellalage who has given India so many nightmares. He's going to play. Thoughts on young talents for the Asia Cup?
Exciting, isn't it? That's what you want to see, some upcoming players, especially in T20 format, because they're more dynamic. We have seen those slightly pro players who have done well in the past, but these kind of talents, especially Vellalage, I think in that Asia Cup he was pretty menacing against India. Picked a few wickets, scored some handy runs down the order,
Six runs,
and over the
six
course of
wickets, I think. Yeah.
time, six, yeah. So I think over the course of time he has improved his game. There are a lot of Sri Lankan players with those part-time spin that the ball kind of bits and bit pieces kind of players, but on those kind of tracks in Sri Lanka or in the subcontinent, they can be very very useful. So I think similar template is what India is also looking forward to in the middle overs, who can ball a bit of spin. Yes, overseas conditions, maybe we need a bit of seam bowling all rounder, but given, I think Paji mentioned here, someone is Rinku bowling a bit also. I
Yeah,
think he did well in the Sri Lanka tour last time, balled a few with
with the
Surya.
ball.
I think that so I think you have to have a second skill to your primary skill as well, just to make sure you are slightly ahead in the selection matters. I was just you were talking about Ishwaran. I think he's just one niggle away from debuting, I'll say. If he gets the chance, if one of those breakdown happens at the top of the order, I think he's just one step away. But yeah, exciting talents like Abhishek, I think he has improved a lot in his terms of game awareness, is what I felt in the IPL. Last IPL, he was very hitting it all places without really analyzing the situation. I think the bowlers and the opposition worked him out well, and I think that has made sure he's gotten a bit more mature. Sanju, I think, has been hot and cold because
Hmm.
a lack of opportunity or continuity was missing. But once he started getting the top of the order and that confidence from Gambhir, I think that true Sanju Samson freedom is what we are seeing. I think good Jitesh is there. He has proven
Correct.
his credentials, so it's, you can always keep rotating. And number three, I think you're discussing. I think let's keep it as more floating, left and right combination as when required. Be it a Tilak, be it a Surya, or even Hardik sometimes can come in if required against the matchups if it's there. So I think we need to be more flexible in this era of T20 cricket. So let's not have a rigid batting lineup. I feel even Shreyas, I think against matchup like good spinners, I think he can
Yeah.
really take them down as well, provided he's in the 15.
Yeah, absolutely. He has to be in the 15, only then he can perform. But the likes of the small teams, Orko, Hong Kong, if you look into their last few games, in the last 6 games, they have won 4 matches. So they are coming from a good confidence, though their opponents have been Malaysia and Singapore. But according to their caliber, they have defeated them 4 times. UAE, if you talk about, they know the conditions really well. They were really impressive along with Oman in the very recent qualifiers of the Cricket World Cup. They have performed when winning few games, the likes of Canada and etc. Your thoughts on what can be performing in the upcoming Asia Cup against the likes of big teams? Because if you look into the last 5 times Asia Cup winners, 2023, we all remember it was India. 2022, it was a T20 format in UAE where Sri Lanka won it. 2018, once again, India won it, possibly under the leadership of Rohit Sharma. 2016, India won it, and then 2014, Sri Lanka won it. So it's all been India and Sri Lanka. Nobody else have dreamt of it, to be honest. But your thoughts on what could India pace out on the pace bowling attack? Because we are hearing reports that Jasprit Bumrah can lead the pace attack. Are you certainly with it?
Well, I don't see the necessity. I mean, I do believe that we have enough pace talents who can, negotiate past these opponents. I mean, if it was a World Cup, then maybe I would have thought someone like a Bumrah as an absolute necessity. But I think the bowlers which we already have, people like Arshdeep can be a proper,
Exactly.
spearhead for the bowling attack. So I think there'll be a handful in this condition or any conditions for that matter. So I think Bumrah shouldn't be risked. You need to keep him for, further important tours and series that are coming up. So perhaps the Asia Cup with the kind of the teams which are coming up in front of India, I do believe that all the IPL centric talents are more than enough to handle those players.
True, absolutely, and that's where I think that Arshdeep Singh, who was unused in the entire Test series, he can be part. Kuldeep Yadav, he can be part as well. But pace attack, Jian, Arshdeep Singh is. I certainly think he should lead this attack. Rest Bumrah for the upcoming bigger tournaments as well. And who can be the second? Is it Gambhir's favorite Harshid Rana, who can be the partner? And who is the third? Is it Prasidh Krishna?
Yes, definitely. I think Harshit also, I think that who can forget that historic debut coming out as a concussion sub
Concussion.
to. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, as I said, he just coming up in that he must have told in mid
And
game
he
that
played
go
in
and
the
play.
Champions Trophy as well, so he knows the conditions well.
He's played in Australia as well, so it's not a like bad patch for him. Like it's a pretty good patch for him. He's been good for KKR as well and taking wickets, and he's got a good height. So yeah, definitely. I think those pitches also will kind of suit him. It will be maybe fast at the beginning, but not at the end as the tournament progresses. But yes, with his kind of hand when he can provide those bounce on those wickets. So yeah, definitely I would pick Harshit Rana, and yes, Prasid Krishna definitely not in red ball. That is a big disclaimer here. White ball definitely a quality bowler. He's very economical. I have seen. I think he had debuted in 2022 or 2021. I don't remember, but yeah, he was quite handy when he was even in the ODI format. He's been quite good, and yeah, like the previous IPL campaign also picked up good. He was a purple cap holder, also picked gave away a few runs, took wickets at intervals. So yeah, I think you need not I don't know if I should term the word experience, but you need these kind of bowlers, who are in form in the same format. So I think it only makes sense. And I think if not Bumrah, then definitely Arshdeep, Prasidh, and Arshit should lead. But obviously we also have Hardik in the mix for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
pace.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I do agree. I think having Bumrah in this series is unnecessary. And if even if you have in 20 days' time, I think you're going to play 5 to 6 games. So I don't see he's going to play all of them. So it doesn't make sense according to me. But on the likes of the other teams, Rohan, Sri Lanka, your thoughts on how they are performing? They are growing slowly and steadily. They had the Lanka Premier League as well. What could they go out? Because the likes of Kushal Mendis will be back. Then you have Pereira's going to be back. Shanaka is going to be back. What can Sri Lanka perform? You have the Yorkers of uh, Chennai Express, Chennai Super Kings. I cannot
Patirana.
remember his name. But
Patirana.
yes, Patirana. Yes, Patirana is going to be back. So your thoughts?
And also, I think they're going to Zimbabwe for a
Yeah,
three-match
they're
series.
playing a tri series.
So I think that will kind of help them get into the T20 mold. I feel also someone like a Nuwan Tushara and all these guys. Generally, Sri Lanka on paper don't look like threatening, but they always rise above themselves, especially in multi team tournaments, be it the World Cup and Asia Cup. I think they always surprise you a lot. I mean, man to man, you feel you can easily beat them or walk over them, like how we saw in the Asia Cup final when Siraj just ran through them. But sometimes maybe that inner belief comes through or what. But someone like a Patum Nisanka doesn't look a big hitter, but I think the quality of stroke play at the top of the order. I think he's the one who has given them a kind of flying start as well. Not to mention your Pereiras and Nuanido Fernando, all these guys. I think they're very free flowing players and can be very dangerous if you don't get them out early. So I think playing Sri Lanka will be a real challenge on those pitches because they have fast bowlers like a Chamira, all the Fernando, and that left arm bowler. I think Binura Fernando, and they are not as quick, but they get that little extra bounce as well. So I think Hasaranga will be a good mystery bowler. Tikshana with the new ball. I think they can do a good job. It's just that you need to be really
Correct.
attacking against them. The game plans that you have to beat Sri Lanka has to be very solid, and your big players have to step up. I feel so. Again, Sri Lanka will be a very good dark horse for me in this tournament. I think the team to watch out for. If you want to win, I think you need to beat Sri Lanka very closely. Is what I feel.
Okay, Sri Lanka, you said, is a very, very dark horse side. Your thoughts, Orko, on Bangladesh? Bangladesh can be another very dark horse side too because they play spin well. They have good spinners in this side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they do have good spinners, and to operate in UAE, you do need a team that has a firing spin attack. I mean, if your spin attack is not amongst the wickets or not being economical enough, you'll certainly struggle. And also the way you play spin, they have players like Najmul Hossain Shanto, the captain himself. If I'm not wrong, I think these are the kind of players who play spin pretty well. Even lower down the order, Jakar Ali, if I'm not wrong, that guy whom they call the mini
Yeah, yeah,
Russell
yeah.
of their
Yeah.
country. So I think he's someone who is very exciting. So they have some exciting players, maybe not long innings kind of players, but perhaps they have those phasic players who can operate whenever required. And if they all gel together, they may punch above their weight. So certainly people don't discuss Bangladesh too often, but that being said, they haven't really performed well in multinational tournaments of late, so they would be very eager to prove a point.
Yeah, true that. They will definitely be eager because they play spin well, and we cannot forget the partnership they had against India after losing, I think, half of their side for cheaply. And the way Jakar Ali, as you rightly mentioned, he played alongside Hriday and others. But final team we are going to discuss after all the nations have been covered up, Jihan. Afghanistan, they can be another dark horses because I really want to know what's wrong with Rashid Khan and his bowling because he's leaking plenty of runs nowadays. Your thoughts? Is it being he's too rushing himself? Is it being his bowling too quick? On the likes of how impressive Noor Ahmed has been getting every single day.
I think the way he came into the format, and the way he was shining, I think the batsmen have started studying him well. That is what I presume. And I think the first batsman to, I think, do it was Owen Morgan back in 2019 World Cup, where he had dismantled Rashid Khan completely. I think since then, he has not changed his rhythm. He's not changed his, much of his bowling action or the, pace also. So I think he more or less he bowls the kind of same bowling. We have not seen
Correct.
kind of any variations. Like, for example, Sunil Narayan had gone a bit off, during KKR, like for 1 or 2 seasons. But, again, he changed his rhythm, he changed his pace, he changed his line and length, and again, he was back to the old Sunil Narayan we all knew. So, more or less, I think he's Rashid should just, maybe kind of change his variations a bit. He should not keep, bowling one ball. I think he bowls a lot of pace. He has to reduce his pace also. This is what I believe. And he bowls quite short. I think it makes a bit, it makes a lot of, it makes it very easy for a batsman to read. And, eventually he will go and, we might even see Rashid Khan getting smacked for six sixes in a row. Not even kidding that kind of bowling
Correct.
he's been bowling right now. I mean, you don't really expect, because he's a very high quality player, very, very, I have rated him very high, especially my love for leg spinners. So
Yeah, yeah.
I really hope that, some, these matches in UAE, help him and, because I think he's being covered up because he plays a very handy role with the bat also
Yeah, very
now.
handy with the bat, good fielder as well, and his
Good fielder
experience is
as
key,
well.
and that's the
And
reason as well.
even he has the captaincy issue, captaincy, experience also, a lot of captaincy experience. We always remember the 19, 18-year-old Rashid Khan coming into that side. Who is he? Who is he? And suddenly he's one of the most wanted players right now. But still, yeah, you cannot discount him. Obviously, every player in the world has a bad phase, but I think he will cover it up. That is what I feel.
True, true, definitely. We also definitely think the same. But if you talk about their batting, they have some underrated players, and now upbringing there is Sadikul Atal, and I'm really excited to see how he plays out there. Gurbaz is obviously there. You have the Zadrans, the Rehmat Shahs as well. Nabi playing alongside. Maybe his son will join him pretty soon and be in the same 11. We might see that too. But final segment, starting with you, Rohan. Your predictions for the Super Fours. From Group A, I have India, Oman, UAE, and another country. From Group B, we have Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Hong Kong.
I think the Group B will be a real group of death, as you said. I think
Correct.
Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Bangladesh. I think that will be a real toss-up. Due respect to Hong Kong, there, keeping them aside. But I think Sri Lanka and Afghanistan for me, just because the kind of power these two teams have. Bangladesh slightly need to catch up, and sometimes in these multinational tournaments, they kind of fail to come
Okay.
into the contest. I feel in our group, I think India definitely. Uh, I'm not sure who the second team can be. Maybe some of our neighbor um,
Okay.
can come through, but I think it'll be a good contest. But I think the Group B will be a one to watch out for more. I feel.
Absolutely. Group of death. Group B will be something to watch out for. Orko, for you?
Well, definitely Sri Lanka makes it. I mean, they have definitely been a side that has done well in multinational tournaments, and I do feel that Bangladesh also have a good chance to perform. But I still believe Afghanistan, Sri Lanka would definitely make it from that group, and the other group, India, and a team that we would not really want to mention, perhaps given the kind of team they have, if they perform well, then we never know they have a chance to make it. So I think the other neighbor, India, Afghanistan, and Sri Lanka for me.
Sri Lanka and Afghanistan from Group B, says Orko. Your thoughts on Jian?
India and UAE to qualify. That is for sure. I believe. See, it is it is just not saying,
Typical
but
Jian answer.
Rohan had slightly like mentioned a few minutes ago that UAE are the host nation after all, and like they have played the most T20 games in UAE, so
True.
they
And
know like
I
understand
said, out of
more.
the last 6 games, they have won 4 of them.
Exactly my point. And they are, they, I think they have played New Zealand, they have played Bangladesh, they have played Sri Lanka as well. Not now, but they eventually have, and they have that kind of experience. And as I said, so these teams, we don't know what is coming for us because we have not faced them. We have not played against them. We don't know what kind of players they are. Obviously, we were watching videos and all technical things is all just on digital platforms right now. But the thing is, while actually playing, we don't know what is exactly coming in front of us.
Correct.
Any bowler or any batter can surprise. Maybe Bumrah can get smacked for 20 runs by UAE batsman over here, or maybe a bowler can literally rip apart India's top order also and make
True.
her,
Anything can
make us worry. These things can worry. Like we can expect UAE, we can't take any team lightly. But honestly, what I feel, India and UAE definitely are qualifying this, and
from Group A and Group B.
and it's going to be difficult. But I think Sri Lanka and Afghanistan have the upper edge because Afghanistan definitely had a brilliant T20 World Cup, brilliant T20 World Cup.
Everybody
I
is
think
fancying Sri Lanka and Afghanistan from Group B, and that's going to
I,
be a group
I,
of
I
death.
personally, I personally, I personally feel Afghanistan and India will play the final.
Not. I'm not going to be surprised if that happens because Afghanistan are really a
Definitely, and that
quality
is going to
side.
be a very tough game, and that is going to be a very
Yeah,
tough
it's
game.
not going to be easy. I think they have given us problems in the 2019 World Cup too, but we somehow escaped from that and got a victory.
I,
So your
I don't know
thoughts?
who gave a statement. I don't know who gave the statement from Afghanistan. I think it was Nabi or Gulbuddin Naib. I don't know, one of them or some other player. He has said that we want to beat India, and that is our aim now. And I think they will look forward. Definitely, they will be looking forward in that next phase of after the group stage. They will be everything whatever how many one or two matches whatever we play against them if we play at all. So I think definitely they will be looking to target. And if Afghanistan India make the final, both of them play against each other, I think it's going to be a very tough contest according to me.
Okay, so your thoughts on UAE, India, Afghanistan, and Sri Lanka. So majority of says that it's going to be Afghanistan and Sri Lanka from Group B, while typical Jian has his typical answers, and I'm not going to be surprised if he once again gets it right. Thank you so much, all three of you. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. Asia Cup is around the corner, and cricket debates in fifth umpire will continue as it always does. So if you want to be part of this lovely show as well, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much. much, and bye bye.